Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week.
Hey, Mike Finch in the house. What's up, my brother? We're live for the money line. We got this UFC Vegas 59 card to talk about. Finch, man, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, can't complain, brother. We had a phenomenal round of picks last week. The first ever free money parlay hit for you guys. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Small round of applause for everybody who cashed out. Beautiful work. We got Assassin, Baby, and Pavlovich. They both delivered for you guys the first ever free money parlay. And ladies and gentlemen, free money it was. Beautiful, beautiful. Loved the fights last week, AJ. How about you?
I love the fights, and I guess quickly we'll glance over last week. I want to talk about the stoppage in the Pavlovich-Lewis fight. You agree it was early, but yeah. I do want to say Derek Lewis looked atrocious up until that point.
We talked about it, right? I mean, I just think Derek Lewis is past his prime now, AJ. I don't know if we're going to see the same Black Beast anymore. And Pavlovich is just in a different level. I mean, you know, not to toot my own horn, but it's literally exactly as we broke these fights down. I mean, we said exactly that coming in, right? That Pavlovich is going this way, Derek's going this way. I think the performances are starting to show it, AJ.
I'm sad to see Derek Lewis go as downhill as he has. Because I wanted to maybe get to see, you know, Ngannou and him fucking run it back one more time, but is what it is, bro. Fucking fight game plays out as it should. Looking at the card as a whole, though, Moreno, fucking savage, wore some damage, gets a beautiful body kick KO. How great was that?
We said, right, that Moreno was spamming that left high kick in the first fight. So what does he do? He tried a couple, and then he put a couple in the body. That was the second time he kicked that body with the lead leg, right? First time he landed it, it was maybe 45 seconds before that, and you saw it affected Kai Kara-France. And what did Kai Kara-France do? He shot a takedown. Kai Kara-France shooting takedowns on Assassin Baby. I knew it was over when I saw that. Sure enough, within 30 seconds, he got knocked out to the body. Very impressive stuff from Brandon Moreno. Pretty good fight up until that point, and Assassin Baby puts him away. Again, Assassin Baby is capable of winning the fight everywhere and is capable of taking Kai Kara-France's shots. There wasn't anything Kai Kara-France could do to get him out of there. Assassin Baby could get him out of there, though.
Dude, Assassin Baby, I think him and Figueiredo 3 is going to be an interesting matchup. I will say, and do you agree with me? Is the commentary booth playing with us a little bit? Like the whole team is talking about, it was a controversial decision. I thought Figueiredo won the last fight 100%.
Figgy won the last fight 100%.
Right.
Is this the fourth fight? I think they've got 3 draw.
What did I say? Did I say third?
Trilogy. So it was draw. It was one. So they're 1-1-1. What do we need now? Like a DQ? So they could just be 1-1-1-1. Why not?
No contest. Somebody gets poked in the eye or something like that.
Thank you. Thank you. No contest. That's what I was looking for. We need an eye poke, guys. Can you deliver for us, please? Joke. Yeah, I'm for it. I mean, what else are they going to do? I heard Chael Sonnen complaining how it wasn't the right fight. Chael, what other fights are they going to make, man? These guys scrap every time. Chael's test was, tell me if it's going to be the main event. And it's like, I don't know what other fights in that division are the main event, though, right? What other fights can be made? They might as well run it back again.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think in that division right now. I mean, there's Pantoja. I guess that's the only other fight. But you're going to have the interim champ defend an interim title? Doesn't really make sense to me.
Right. We want an undisputed champion. Good point, though. Pantoja, man, he's already beaten Kara-France. He's already beaten Assassin Baby. I mean, that makes sense.
I think that's the guy, personally, that I want to see in the mix soon. Problem is, timing is everything. And with Figueiredo, I feel like deserving to be able to defend the belt against Moreno and like just finish off that fucking, I don't know, what was it, quadrilogy, would we call it? That's technically a quadrilogy, right?
That's right. Exactly. They got to solve it, man. Look, we need a finish. We need Assassin Baby or Davison Figueiredo. This is a PSA to you two. Finish the fight. Show us who the champion is so the damn division can move on and Pantoja can get his crack.
I think that Pantoja, grappling wise, I really want to see that fight with Moreno, because I have this weird feeling that he gets the back in some position, and having the 2 wins over him already from the Ultimate Fighter to the UFC first fight between the two. I don't know, man. I think there's a chance he could go like 3-0 with him.
There it is. There it is. We'll see. I think that he's very tough, man. It's just not a main event fight. Like, back to Chael's argument, it's not going to be this big headliner fight, but I could see him deserving it because he's already got wins over the top of the division, So I like it, man. It's just, don't forget about Davison Figueiredo. He has that actual belt, So let's clear that out. And then AJ, the main event. Come on, man. You love that Nunes performance. What did we say? I said, if I told you last year you could get 2-1 or 3-1 odds on Nunes, you would bet the farm. Yeah. Nunes made it look like it was the old Nunes. What a shutout, dude. Those scorecards were wide.
Dude, I'll be 100% honest with you. Looking back, picking Pena, I feel like I was rooting for the fluke again. Clearly, Nunes is the better fighter. She put a great game plan out there, picked her apart, but Juliana Pena is the toughest chick around. She got the absolute, I don't want to say shit kicked out of her, but destroyed, face destroyed, everything beaten down. She's still throwing back. And I mean, if you look at Nunes's face, like that was a fight for Nunes still, even though she did a ton of damage offensively, she took some too. I feel like the durability of Pena impressed me more than anything because she got dropped and gets up, dropped and gets up.
Well, okay, so 2 things on that. One, I agree with your durability point. To even put a cherry on that, that's what she was talking about leading up to the fight, right? She didn't pull an Israel Adesanya on us and overpromise, right? She told us, I'm the tougher girl between us two. I'm the dog here. I'm the one who's going to dig down deep when this fight gets hard. She did that. Respect to her. With that being said, Amanda Nunes did not follow up. And I feel that especially when, she had Pena's eyes rolling in the back of her head on one of those shots, if she would have followed up with a couple bombs, she could have got that fight over with. It was interesting to see her maybe over-respect the ground game, over-respect, the skills of Juliana Pena on the floor because, it seemed like almost that Nunes let her off the hook a couple times. It didn't have to go 25 minutes. Looking back at the fight, always hindsight, you could make those criticisms, but looking back on the fight, if you were in the corner of Nunes, you might say, hey, when you drop her, follow up with a couple big punches, see if you can get this fight over with. I think she was capable of finishing that fight. Nothing to say that Pena doesn't have crazy durability and heart, though. Big respect to Juliana Pena, but she got her ass whooped for 25 minutes.
She did. She did. There's no argument, man. I feel like a third fight is a hard sell because there was 50-43 scorecards. Yeah, first bout, win for Pena, but the second bout was like just a clear who's the better fighter. No fluke, no gassing, the full 5 domination. I think it'd be easier to sell a knockout if somehow Pena gets caught and knocked out. Oh, I got caught. I want to run it for a third time. The way she was beaten down, had every chance to win. Nearly gets a couple submissions though. I like the grappling from the bottom from Pena. She looked good, but that fight's gonna be hard, man. I think Shevchenko Nunes trilogy is the fight.
Of course, man. There's a woman who's outside of the UFC. Her name is Chris Cyborg. She could also be the best fighter in the world. She only got 1 crack at Amanda Nunes. Other than that, she's beaten up everybody. So I would love to see how Cyborg fits into this puzzle because it seems like the 3 best women kind of run the 3 weight classes, right? Cyborg at 45, Nunes at 35. And of course, Valentina Shevchenko in the lighter weight class. So, some talented women. It makes sense to do the Shevchenko-Nunes fight again. Now's the time, man. That's a headliner fight. That's a fight that you got to buy on pay-per-view, man. And Shevchenko looked human in her last fight. Nunes looked human in the previous Pena fight. I think it's a fun one. I think the odds are close. Couple shout outs in the chat here. Good breakdown. You two are goats. Appreciate that. You're mad. I had somebody disagree with me here. Lyndon. Nunes made her suffer. Okay, so I've heard this argument already. Nunes actually said this, so let's give credit where credit's due. Nunes literally said in an interview, I didn't finish the fight because I wanted to go all 5. I call bullshit. I call bullshit because if you're smart, if we're being intelligent here, we don't want to do what Chael Sonnen did against Anderson Silva. Chael Sonnen won the first round. He won the second round. He won the third round. He won the fourth round. Fifth round comes and he gets triangled. Okay, that only happens because you are now taking another risk. This is not football, okay, where I can go up by 40 points and now I can put my B team on the field with the 2-minute warning on because they can't come back. That's not you could finish a fight at any time. It is always smart that when you have the chance to finish the fight, you finish the damn fight. That's part about being the best in the world. You also want to be the best strategically. You also want to be the best as far as risk-reward ratios are concerned. Amanda, if she really did choose to not finish not finish Pena, she took an unnecessary risk. That's not something I like as a person who might bet on her, right? And now I have to wonder, okay, what is she? Is she going to keep slugging it out with Valentina Shevchenko in the next fight and get caught with a head kick in the fifth? You see my point. If you can finish the fight, finish the fight.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. I thought when she said that, I said, no, you didn't. It was hard to finish Pena. Did she maybe not fully commit to it? I think being a little bit, like you said, over respectful of the skill set. And then you almost get caught in an armbar late. I don't know, man. I would feel
that was
like
good armbar.
It was good. Like it was right there. I would feel as though if you were going to sell the trilogy fight, they have to really press towards like a few of those submission highlights from that fight because it wasn't competitive outside of those couple moments, man. I think Valentina makes more sense. I like you bringing up Chris Cyborg. I'll note this. Chris Cyborg wasn't ever given a rematch and wouldn't at that time. Chris Cyborg is the greatest female fighter that ever lived. And then Nunes beats her. And now she gets that claim to fame. Right. She gets that. Wouldn't we want to see a second fight between them as true MMA fans, right? You want to find out who is ultimately the better of the two. And when you have a woman that did so much damage for so many years, I think she would be deserving of an immediate rematch. Unfortunately, doesn't happen. She leaves the UFC now, over in Bellator, still dominating competition, winning fights. I think she still looks dangerous too. Another name in the hat, though. Kayla Harrison is killing everyone in PFL, and it's not close. True. Problem is, it's 155 pounds, though. Like, let's be honest. She's fighting 20 pounds heavier than Amanda Nunes. We can say who would win that. But are we talking about the champion at bantamweight? Let's talk about Aljamain Sterling. Does he beat Charles Oliveira? Or is he beating, upper weight class Volkanovski? No. So I don't know. To me, I kind of look at the Kayla Harrison situation as unless she is consistently making 145 pounds, that argument is like, for me, even out of the picture at this point, besides bringing it up for a Cyborg fight, because that's another one I'd love to see.
Kayla Harrison is jacked. I got to interview her at Bellator.
Yeah.
Freaking traps, bro. The size of her arms, man. They got to get the tape measure out and get the circumference. Dude, she's huge, man. She's got to be 180 when she's just lifting throughout the year, right?
Bitch, man, we got the guest in the house, my brother.
Oh, let's jump right to it, guys. Super pumped for our guest today. Let's this.
Introduce her. It's Jessica Rose Clark making her first appearance.
No lies on me.
Jessica Rose Clark, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you.
We can hear you. Jess in the house. We're big fans.
Why are you
Jess.
so excited?
Thank you for stopping.
Why
He's an excitable guy, Pitch Man.
Why are we so excited? Because Jess, you're a fan favorite, okay? People want to see Jess on a UFC card. It seems like the UFC loves you. I definitely was interested to see that you were warming up with a hammer this week. Jess, what the hell is going on? Why do you have a hammer in the cage? Please explain.
Well, because I just got my arm dislocated, so I have to do my exercises. And I was supposed to do it with one of those Indian clubs, but I didn't have any. So all I had on me was a hammer.
Great.
Don't run up on Jess, AJ.
No.
She might throw a hammer at you, bro. She's armed and dangerous.
Yeah, right now this is next level intensity. You got the fighting skill plus the weaponry over here. Now I do have to ask you though,
Let's see it. Format too.
Holy smokes!
That someone made me. Jess, look.
What other weapons do you throw there? What else we got?
There's.
I know Hans Mullenkamp's responsible for this shit.
There's a throwing knife. There's a. But wait, do you really want to see them all? There's so many more.
Oh shit!
There's
Oh
a
my
knife.
God.
There's like a K-bar knife in the back that I lost the sheath to. So there's just a blade in the back.
Jesse,
Holy shit.
no wonder nobody stole her truck when she left the keys out this
I
this
know.
week. Nobody's running up on you.
Holy shit.
Wow,
Yeah, it's a
dangerous
lot.
woman.
Heavy artillery in the house right there.
Sorry, my
Oh.
phone started ringing.
You're good. You're good. I do want to ask you though, with the elbow injury, I mean, it's been a not long period, right? What has it been? A little bit over a month. You're already back sparring 100%. Like you're made out of steel or something to come back.
Hey, look, let's see. Can I move this? Like I can't straighten it yet. You know, that's as straight as it goes. But I feel like that's not much straighter than this one. I mean, it's not far off, right?
Yeah,
And
no.
then
It'll work.
I can just tickle my shoulder now.
I don't think I can do that. I can't quite. I can't do that.
What's wrong with you?
I can't. These guns,
Okay.
these huge
This guy,
guns. I can't.
He looks like Chael Sonnen, bro.
I think I got it.
That's
Okay,
good.
so the recovery's coming along. That's good to see. But I'm with AJ. I mean, it's kind of crazy to see you in there sparring.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't throw it. I mean, I threw a couple of hooks, but I just tried to keep it up for defense. Because I said to coach, I'm like, hey, coach, because I was kind of stuck here for a while. And I said to coach, I'm like, coach, now I can put my guard up, like I'm going to start sparring. So when I was on that cross-country trip last week or the week before, I was driving. And while I'm driving, I'm doing this, trying to get my hand closer and closer. And then it hit when I was in Denver for Invicta. And I was like, coach, you know what's happening. So we hit pads when I get back. I'm going to start sparring. And I did. It was fun.
oh shit, that is
So
hilarious.
what about now timeline for the return? Is it looking like 90 days longer? What are you thinking?
No,
What's the-
it's still like I still have a fully torn ligament, a partial tendon tear, and a partial ligament tear on the outside. So I can't do a push up yet. I can't post on it yet. The thing I'm concerned about the most is like taking impact from kicks. That's kind of what I'm concerned about. Whatever, posting, that doesn't matter. Sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to cuss.
No,
My bad.
curse as much as you want.
Cuss away. We're encouraging it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so I my PT and my surgeon, because I didn't end up getting surgery. So with surgery, my surgeon said it was going to be like August before I would be able to fight again. August next year. So it would be like a 13-month recovery.
Oh, wow.
And then we're trying to just rehab it, and we think April, May, which is way better than August.
That's good. Listen, that's a good amount of full rehab time to come back. I was also going to ask you, what are you thinking about next opponent? But the landscape of the division is going to be playing out. Like that's a while ahead, unless you got somebody in mind that you want to call out.
You really want to know? You know what I'm hoping for?
Yeah.
This weekend, Stephanie Egger is fighting that Brazilian girl, and that Brazilian girl's been trained here at CSA. So I hope that Brazilian girl knocks Stephanie Egger out so that she's coming off a loss, and then I can ask for her for my first fight back and get that rematch. And then when I fight her and win that fight, they might make me do like one or two more, and then I'm going to fight Julia again. I'm going to knock her out this time. Came close this time. I'm going to knock her out next time. So that's kind of my plan. That's like what I'm going to petition for is to fight Stephanie. Obviously, if she ends up beating Mayra this weekend, which I don't really see happening, but I didn't see her beating me, so you never fucking know, right? Yes, if she wins, I probably won't get that fight yet. I might have to win one or two before I can ask for that rematch, but that's what I'm going to ask for.
She's got revenge on the mind, AJ.
Intense.
That's it.
Intense.
That's
Holy
it. I'm
shit.
not happy. I'm not happy. And I can do better, so I want the chance to do better.
Well, respect it. And I like the call out. We'll give it some time. Division plays out. I mean, who knows? Could be the next matchup coming up.
Could be. Fingers crossed she gets finished. Then I'm positive I can get that fight.
Rooting for your teammate. I like it. I gotta ask, there was a girl fight this past weekend. Did you know? Did you watch? What'd you think?
Did I even watch? I don't even think I watched. Did I watch the fights this weekend?
Nunes versus Pena.
Wasn't it? God, I'm so stupid. I mean, that was cool. That was a good fight. It was nice to see Amanda just 100% emulate Valentina. She went, oh, who's one of the other most dominant females? How does she win? This is how I'm gonna win.
Oh, yeah. You think that's what she did?
I mean, I don't know. It looks like it. Like if you watch Valentina fight and then watch Amanda in that fight, it's near identical. The only difference is that Amanda was a lot more aggressive than what Valentina is. Like Valentina is an amazing, amazing striker, but she pretty much just counters. So it's like not always as entertaining, you know. Amanda at least like was pushing, you know. She did the same stuff that Valentina does, but she did it really aggressivly. I enjoyed it. I thought that fight was fucking great.
No, I did
It was
too.
a great fight. It was a great fight. Those ladies scrapped. I love seeing, you know, the headliner of a pay-per-view be two women. It's really awesome. The opportunity. There really is no ceiling. You could really be a millionaire in this game. And that's my question to you. You know, you are a fan favorite as it is. Everybody wants to see you fight. How does Jessie Jess turn a corner? How does Jessie Jess work her way up the division to get to a title shot? What can you do to get to that championship level? I know you're training with Coach Kieran, and I know CSA is a badass gym. What changes are you looking to make?
So honestly, for this last camp, I started doing privates with Danny Castillo at Alpha Male. Who's had incredible success as a coach, you know. So that really is my priority. When I can come back to wrestling and grappling, like I did a lot. Surprisingly, I know no one believes it. Julia is a fucking black belt and I'm not, right? But I did a lot of grappling for this fight. I think I made a couple of little errors just stylistically with the grappling that I was doing. I kind of prioritized straight jiu-jitsu as opposed to MMA grappling, and it was just like a little bit of decision making was just different. You know, the decision making that I'd been training wasn't necessarily the right thing for this fight. You know, so that's kind of my priority is training more with Danny Castillo and then just getting more MMA grappling. I mean, talking to Sarah McMahon. She's out in Sacramento as well, and her and I have been talking about training together once my arm is healed up. She's arguably the best female wrestler in the UFC, you know, her and Tatiana Suarez, and Sarah's my size, a little bit bigger, and honestly, like I think that's what I'm most excited for once I can come back to grappling, which I hope is next month, honestly. But so I think they're going to be the additions. It's just I really have been searching. Since Zoila Frausto stopped training, she's not fighting anymore. Since she stopped training with us, I've been searching for another female training partner who was significantly better than me. Like I need to be beat up by someone my size. I need someone my size who's better than me, because that's the only way I'm gonna really get better. And I'm very thankful that I'm trying to build a relationship with Sarah McMahon, and I think I can help her a lot with her striking. I know for a fact she can help me with my grappling, and I'm very, very excited about that concept.
Awesome. Olympic wrestler AJ. That's a nice one to add to the repertoire.
McMahon, yeah, she's dangerous on the floor. I mean, she did well even against Juliana Pena in that fight and ultimately lost it. It was a good competitive performance through it. I am going to shift the gear a little bit because I know you did some ex-MMA commentary, right? Yeah. So tell me a little bit about doing commentary. What is the hardest part about the commentary side that you've done that you've come to learn?
You know, the schedule I was on for that fight meant that I wasn't present for any of the fighter meetings. And so I kind of had to play catch up with Ian, and Ian Heinisch was commentating with me, and then Tony Romero. So I kind of had to play catch up and get my knowledge from their notes. And they both write like they're doctors. You know, I couldn't understand a fucking thing that they wrote down. So that kind of made it difficult. You know, I know next time I need to be able to arrive earlier so that I can do the fighters meeting. I can ask my own questions because a lot of it, like on fight day, I had to spend a lot of time watching footage and stuff like that to try to gain a better insight of who these people were. Like I already knew who a bunch of them were because they were ex-UFC fighters. But yeah, honestly, it was just making sure. The hardest thing about commentary that I found was just making sure that you had the correct information about each person, you know, because like no one wants to watch their fight back and listen to the commentary and hear that they've said everything wrong or that they haven't made the effort to even learn anything about you. So I definitely can do better with that next time. But fuck, man, I had so much fun. That job, like I love commentating so much. And Ian Heinisch kept calling me his big sister for some reason. Well, I mean, I'm older than him, but he decided that I was his big sister, even though I look 10 years younger. But we just had such a good rapport with myself and Ian and then Tony, and it was just so much fun, you know. And I get to go back to commentate for them again in October, which I'm really excited about. And I got a ton of messages on Instagram from some of the fighters and some of the coaches that competed on that event, thanking me for my commentary and saying that they were really happy with how I presented things and what I had to say, and that I sounded knowledgeable. And that's all I ever want. Like, I don't want to be the chick and have everyone go, "What the fuck is she up there for?" Like, what she's talking about. But yeah, so there was so much greatness that came from getting that opportunity, and I'm very, very excited to continue doing that. Now I just gotta get the UFC to give me a job.
That's great.
I thought
notes now.
AJ, I thought she was gonna say her accent for sure. The Australian accent coming through. That would be the hardest part.
That works money though, I think.
No, because you know what? You know what my running joke is that if I like stumble on my words, I go, "Oh, sorry guys, I'm foreign." And then like the Australian accent and being from Australia works for me, right? Because I think it's really funny. I'm like, oh, I forget what I'm trying to say. And I'm like, sorry guys, I'm foreign, you know? And then,
Good excuse.
Yeah, right? Even though
makes sense.
He's just not well.
Hardest thing about commentary, saying everybody's names correctly. Some of these frickin' Dagestanis, I'm like calling people. How do you say this name?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Here's
the red gloves, black shorts.
Yeah.
I gave everyone nicknames. Like Big Butt, Will Brooks.
Now, I noticed that with the Contender Series breakdowns, even like sometimes you have these fighters from foreign places that you've never heard of, even some of the tape you're watching back. Like, if you don't sit there and listen to the introduction, you're not going to know how to pronounce their names, man. Like, there was one couple weeks ago, I feel like I absolutely botched it. I had to do like a retake on the breakdown there, man.
That happens all the time. Yes. Jess, we are a predictions show, and you don't have to predict anything, but there is a UFC card coming up this weekend. In the main event, we got Santos and Jamal Hill. I'll even ask you more generally, how much of a fan are you? Do you tune in every weekend? Are you pumped to see these fights?
I mean, I think I watch out of habit now.
Okay.
But also I watch because I've been in the UFC for 5 years. So I have so many friends who are fighting now, you know? So that's kind of the main reason I fight. I'm really excited for Jamal Hill's fight. He's actually the one who convinced me that I could rehab my elbow without surgery. So I'm sued because he had a very similar injury when he lost to Paul Craig.
Yep.
And he reached out to me and checked in on me a bunch, checked in, and then was like, hey, like I had this happen, which was very like pretty much exactly the same injury. And he's like, I didn't have surgery. I just did a regressive rehab. This is the only issues that I have with it now. I went back and fought it 6 months and like, I haven't really had any problems. And that conversation with him was the reason that I called my PT and my surgeon and said like, hey, what are the chances we can do this just with rehab? So I'll be even though Jamal's knocked out my friends, I'm a big Jamal Hill fan. Yeah.
Okay. So I just heard a Hill pick. I just heard a Hill pick right there, AJ. We got one from her.
That's a Hill pick in my book, man.
It is 100%.
What about co-main event moving down?
Who's that? I don't even know who's fighting. Who's co-main event?
AJ, give us the card.
It's all right. So Vicente Luque versus Jeff Neal.
Ooh, I love me some Vicente Luque. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Let's go.
Okay, you like the striking style. You like the Darce chokes. He's got some nasty strangles.
I just like people. I'm more of a kickboxing fan, so like anyone who sticks to kind of heavy kickboxing, I'm all in on. I feel like Jeff Neal's a little bit more of a boxer. I like him too. Like I think he's a stud. I'm just more of a Luque fan.
Yeah, no, I like Luque's style. He's violent. He's slick. Yeah, I like the stand up from Luque.
Yeah.
There it is. All right. Well, we don't want to take too much of your time, Jess, but if you had any other picks on the card, we'll always take them. Jess, we're rooting for you.
Cory McKenna.
There it is. First fight of the night. Why Cory McKenna? Because that's a close fight.
It is. But I see, you know what? Cory's luck needs to turn around. She's been working really hard. She's one of my teammates at Team Alpha Male, so I get to see her pushing every day. And I feel like she's one of those fighters who has so much ability and just hasn't quite been able to show it yet, you know? Like she's shown her toughness, that's undeniable, but like her boxing is so slick. Every time Coach Curie makes me spar with her, I'm like, fuck, because she's so much smaller than me that I don't want to hit her, but she hits me so goddamn hard that I'm like, I want to fucking knock her out half
Hit
the
her.
time. But like I can't because I have 40-odd pounds on her, so I don't. But yeah, she's a stud. She definitely deserves more credit than what she gets.
Let's go.
All right. Does she get it done on the ground or on the feet? Because I know somebody who thinks her opponent's kind of tall for her. Can she close distance?
Come on, bro. Listen. Cory McKenna has like a 50-something inch reach advantage. Every fucking person she has ever fought or sparred with has had a longer reach and has been taller. So you really think that that's going to be a reason that she's not successful? When every single person she has ever done anything with who wasn't a fucking child has had reach and size on her.
Mike Fitch throwing me under the bus here.
Oh, that was yeah, you're under the bus. She put it in reverse and ran over you again, bro.
That's it. We'll see you on fight night. That's what I'll say.
That was badass. Jess, thank you so much for stopping by. AJ, we got anything else for the young star?
I would say, Jess, give yourself a shout. I know you already got like almost 500K on the gram, but tell the people where they can follow you at.
Miss Jessie Jess on everything. Jessie with a Y.
Check her out. Give her a follow. Jess, it was nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on the show. I look forward to watching for that comeback. Let's get that elbow to 100%. Let's get those knockouts.
Me too. Thanks, team.
Thank you, Jess.
Okay, bye.
Have a good one.
All eyes on me.
There we go. That was Jessica Rose Clark in the house. We got to shift it. Good time chatting it up with her, man. I got to say, I've been a fan of her for a long time, so it's cool to actually meet her, chat it up, and she's got a good vibe to her.
Hey, she gave us some insights, bro. She gave us some insights. She told us she wants to fight that woman right there, right? She told us about Cory McKenna. She told us about Jamal Hill, giving her that information about how to recover from the dislocated elbow. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Jamal Hill had some super recovery with that elbow too, to come back and put the streak he's got going together.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, talk about somebody who rebounded well from an arm dislocation. Jamal Hill's done it unlike anybody we've ever seen in the sport of mixed martial arts. I mean, once he got his arm ripped in half by Paul Craig, I had no idea he'd be headlining right now and a favorite against Thiago Santos. It's just 3 fights later, 3 KOs. Dude, I mean, what a comeback from an injury. That's a great person for Jessie Jess to talk to. Powerful for her to hear, his story and see how he's performing. That's got to give her something good mentally to sort of hang on to. Hey, somebody else has gone through this and done it. I can do it too.
Right. No, absolutely, man. I look forward to the comebacks. And we got heat fights to come through and start it off with.
Let's go.
Number 1, it's Mayra Bueno Silva taking on Stephanie Egger. Egger, recent opponent of our last guest, Jessica Rose Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in this fight, the thing with Bueno Silva, I don't know, man. The power. She hits hard. She's got that Muay Thai style. Not necessarily that she's super like knockout queen level, but I feel like she's going to do damage to Egger as she tries to close the distance and grapple. Egger, I feel like it's more that upright kickboxing style. I feel like she's getting touched up a bit. She's going to close distance and try to grapple. I do believe she's going to get inside of the clinch a bit. I don't think Silva's easy to throw. And I feel like I'm riding Bueno Silva on the cards to win a decision. Finch, man, let me know.
We're going to disagree on the first fight of the night. Look, I think that I break it down into 3 ranges when you're striking with somebody, right? You could be all the way out, okay? You could be all the way in, or there's purgatory right in between, right? I think Egger can win this fight all the way out. I do think she can, just pick her shots and sort of move around on the outside. Once Bueno Silva wants to close into purgatory, Egger needs to make it go in all the way. As long as Egger's all the way in, I do think her judo will take this fight over. We've actually seen Egger throw Gabby Garcia. AJ, do you know who Gabby Garcia is? She's she is the most decorated female grappler in jiu-jitsu history. Egger threw her through the air. You know who Gabby Garcia is? She's the female Brock Lesnar of grappling, okay?
Yeah.
Egger threw her through the air and she landed on her hands. So if Egger can throw Gabby Garcia, I mean, we saw Moroz throw Bueno Silva. She hit her with an overhook throw. She had the overhook. She's taller, right? Boom, hipped in, threw her on the mat, got a takedown with that. If Moroz is doing it to her, I think Egger's going to do it too. I think Egger controls the striking on the outside. As soon as Bueno Silva wants to close the distance, she needs to come in all the way, get that over-under, send her sailing. I think Egger's going to win this fight. How it gets done, it's a little tough for me. I might as well just go ahead and be safe and say decision.
Decision, Egger. I'm going to go decision, Silva, but you are bringing up good points, man, because that Moroz takedown, if she's throwing you, it's like Stephanie Egger's a different level.
That's Stephanie Egger's game. Stephanie Egger's judoka.
I guess the main thing with Egger is I'm just not super impressed even when she gets on top. I know she's locked up some subs, but I feel like Bueno Silva is going to have some, at least even if she is thrown, competent defense to survive and not get finished, which I guess I find her getting back up to the feet and doing more significant damage from striking. But if we have Egger on top consistently mixing the takedowns, and obviously definitely a chance you could see Egger.
Well, I respect the Bueno Silva pick because she shoot the box, right? I mean, she's a tough woman. She could definitely make this a fight. But yeah, I see her being outclassed when it comes to the takedowns. And I think that'll be valuable here, you know, because she's going to want to close that distance, like you said. If she stays too far on the outside, she's significantly shorter, I believe, especially the limbs. Yeah, I just see this as a good matchup for Eggerman.
I like it. Listen, Finch, man, it's not a bad pick. Lines are fucking close.
Same.
Competitive matchup. Looking at it, plus 120 for Bueno Silva, and then you got minus 125 for Stephanie Egger.
Oh, okay. You're on the dog. Okay. I see.
Slight dog. Very slight dog. At this point, it's a dog, though. Earlier on in the week, she was a little bit of the favorite, too. So it's a pick'em's line, depending where you're at. To me, it's a true pick'em's fight.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm keeping the cash in the pocket on this one, but it's right on the border of considering a bet. You know, I do like Egger in this one. We'll keep learning about you know, where she's at, but I do think Egger's jiu-jitsu is going to cancel out Silva's. It's not going to. You know, Silva's not going to like dominate her in the grappling department, and in the striking, I just think she's running the risk of walking right into a clinch throw. Man, excited for it. Good way to kick off the card.
Good way. First fight. I'm going Silva, Finchman going Egger. Let's go to the next one. Cory, McKenna, and Miranda Granger. This is a fight that was contested. Finchman, he let Jessica Rose Clark know I'm on the other side.
Bro.
I'm like,
bro.
Come on, Finch. I was like, holy shit.
She roasted you.
It was good, though. It was good. And listen, I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna say much, man. I don't want to give it away before the breakdown of why I think Miranda Granger is gonna win the fight. And I'll be honest, as I did the breakdown for this one on my own time. And I sat on the fight for a while because this is a hard matchup to pick.
Sure. Technically
speaking, yes, I can see exactly what Rose Clark is saying. McKenna's fight taller girls forever, in training with taller girls forever. This is a big 10-inch reach difference, 9.5 inches. Granger, she's not super technical, but she's awkward and athletic. I don't really love the way she strikes. And I don't know if you picked up on this habit. You notice sometimes it's like the head leads. It's a habit where the head leads the hands, and that is a terrible habit to have. The thing is, I don't think Cory McKenna is big enough with the power, right, to stun a Granger. I think Granger's going to be able to take her shots. So that's why I'm kind of feeling like Granger could steal a competitive decision here. Maybe even mix in a bit of clinch work. I don't see Granger doing like super well on the floor, though, with pure jiu-jitsu. I just think she ends up beating McKenna off an awkward matchup with the size difference here. And I think the athleticism of Granger isn't bad either. What do you think, Finch, man? Give me the take.
Just because Granger has the reach doesn't mean she knows how to use it. And the more I watch Granger strike, the more I see that she cannot control distance very well. I think McKenna is going to close that distance. I think she's going to be able to throw punches. I think she's going to be able to get takedowns as well. Remember, Amanda Lemos took Granger down and strangled her. Unconscious, I believe. I mean, it was ugly, right? So I kind of see the same scenario here, man. I think Cory McKenna can get this thing done pretty much everywhere the fight goes. I do see her being, you know, walking forward, sort of walking her down, cutting the cage off, and maybe getting a hold of her, getting in the top position. Am I crazy to go McKenna rear naked choke? Kind of feeling it, man.
Really? Holy shit. Rear naked? Okay. All right.
I think she might get her, dude. I haven't been impressed with Granger yet. You know, this
I
will be
haven't
the
either.
moment. Granger, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Granger.
To be fair, it's not like I'm super impressed with Granger. I just like all the physicality advantages. I'm watching McKenna fight Elise Reed. There's not a lot of power on the shots. She's not super athletic or explosive. She's just technically really good. I'm going to ride with Granger being a bit bigger, maybe a bit stronger, awkward, definitely a tricky situation. But also, if you look at the lines, wide favorite. McKenna's minus 200. So it's not like,
Sure.
McKenna's at close money either here. Granger's a pretty wide underdog at plus 195.
Hmm.
I
Yeah, I
feel
respect
like
you taking the dogs.
it's dog city, bro. It's a big dog attack. It's
Whoa.
someone's asked me about the reach. The reach is 58.5 inches to 68 inches. And there's a big height edge also for Granger, 5'7" to 5'3".
There it is. Yeah, I just don't think Granger knows how to use that, AJ. You know, what you want to do when you've got a long reach is snap things straight down the middle. You know, a good jab, a good front kick to the body like McGregor likes to use. I don't see those tools in her game.
No, they're definitely not. They're not for me. I can't say too much. That is what it is. I'm going with it, though. I'm picking the dog. I think it's an awkward fight. We're riding with Miranda Granger for myself. Finchman on Cory McKenna. And you think she's getting a finish because now it just busted up the potential decision play that some people might be feeling.
I mean, look, I think it could go to decision. You know, it's tough to. I'll dig into Granger's history a little bit to answer that better because I want to see what she did against light competition. But I could easily see this thing going all 3 rounds. That's not crazy. You know, I mentioned Amanda Lemos earlier, and that was the most impressive one. That's the fight I did rewatch last night. Full disclosure. But Ashley Yoder decision with Hannah Goldie. You know, I could see her gutting out a 3-round fight with Cory McKenna. I don't think that's crazy at all. I was asking you, am I crazy for going for a finish? I think McKenna, you know, can get it done.
Let's go. Finchman on McKenna sub for that plus 600, plus 750 even. McKenna by submission is a really wide line, Finchman. Just so you know, you got the Hail Mary prop. Fight goes over 2.5 rounds, minus 265. So they're expecting it to. I'm thinking, yes, it's over 2.5. But that's submission play. If you're thinking that, I mean, that's big plus.
Go on. Big plus. You didn't tell me the number.
No, you didn't hear what I said? Plus 600.
Oh, okay. All right. I did not hear it. That is my fault. Plus 600.
Yeah.
That might be worth a $5 stab, AJ. That might be my lunch money, AJ. We'll see what's up, man. I'll think about it. Interesting. That's super wide. You know, again, Granger just got rear naked choked 2 fights ago, so I don't think that's too crazy.
Let's go. Finchman on the sub. I'm on Granger decision. Let's jump to the next one. Jason Witt versus Josh Quinlan. Mike, would you agree Jason Witt maybe is a bit chinny? He gets hit by big shots and he goes down. Granted, then he goes distance with Bryan Barberena, which, I mean, you have to respect that. He won that fight. But Quinlan's a big puncher. Now, I know there's the PED failure that he dealt with, so he's been out a while. I've been feeling Quinlan by KO all week, but I am concerned, and I want to see how Quinlan looks on the scales, just knowing that there was suspension there, you know, on the off chance, you know, that might not be the same Quinlan. That was Quinlan, you know, on a little something. He comes back on that. He might be 30% less of what he was. Jason Witt is a capable wrestler. And if he gets on top, he's good at controlling position. He's got some decent ground and pound. I like the forward pressure just in general with the wrestling, but I don't love the stand-up. I feel like he kind of comes in square. And I feel like Quinlan, being a pretty good kickboxer out of both stances, finds strikes, defends takedowns, and I think he touches the chin and gets the KO in the first or second.
Ooh. That's really my question here, AJ, is can Quinlan defend the takedown? I mean, if you can answer that question for me, you just answered who's going to win the fight. Because if he cannot defend Witt's takedown, he's going to be in trouble. Witt's a, you know, pretty tough dude to have on top of you. You don't want to be underneath that guy. His jiu-jitsu is pretty solid. His wrestling's pretty solid. On the feet, not the most athletic guy I've ever seen, right? Witt and Quinlan is. Quinlan's a finisher, AJ. So yeah, if it's going to go to Quinlan, I could easily see like a TKO. And early's not crazy either, you know. With that being said, he has to be able to defend the takedown. So if you believe that Witt can take him down, Witt's got this fight. If you believe he can't, I think he's going to get smoked on the feet.
I think the Witt might land the takedown, but like that Phil Rowe fight, when Quinlan gets up, I think it's going to be harder for Witt to land another takedown. I think early on you might see it while they're dry. As the sweat starts going, I think Quinlan's able to escape the positions. Witt gets desperate for takedowns. He gets knocked out.
Yeah, I like the breakdown, AJ. I've been disagreeing with you so far, but we'll double up on this one. Quinlan, KO. I'll double up with you, AJ. You sold me.
Let's go. Let's go. Quinlan by knockout, minus 225. Jason Witt, plus 185 is the dog. I'm on the favorite. So is Finch, man. Looking at it, Quinlan to win by KO, TKO is just plus 125. So it's not a crazy line. I don't think Quinlan's a bad idea to maybe play. Maybe you're on the under 2.5 rounds at minus 135 because I also think we're getting a finish. I like Quinlan. I like him by knockout. I like fight ends inside of the distance. Good one. Good one. Third fight of the night, too. We got heat already started up. Let's keep on running. Next one is Bryan Battle and Takashi Sato. Battle drops a weight class, bro. He decides to get to 170. For that reason, not necessarily wasn't as confident, but I am wanting to see the fights on the scale. Like, I want to see how they look. You know, how's the battle getting to 170 going to affect Bryan in the actual cage? Sato, we know what we kind of get for him. Decent game. I mean, more power striking out of the southpaw stance. If you can find the chin, he wins by knockout. If not, better grapplers will take advantage. I don't think he'll necessarily do well against Bryan Battle with the size. Like, I think the reach edge, but also just the way that Battle moves. I think Sato will be trying to chase a bit. I don't see him landing that power straight. I also think Bryan Battle's the better grappler of the two. I could see him landing takedowns on Sato over time. I've picked Takashi Sato in spots, and he's done terrible. So I don't think that it hasn't happened. I'm not a Sato hater. I'm not saying he's a slouch. I actually think he's a decent fighter. It's a good test for Bryan, but I think Battle gets the hand raised by a decision here.
Yeah, I like the move for Battle, man. I like the move down for Battle. You know, I don't want to see him undersized, and he's the type of guy where if you're not gonna be able to bully him, you know, then he's gonna, you know, be able to submit you or be able to do what he wants in the fight. So if I heard you right, AJ, you're waiting for weigh-ins. You want to see if Bryan Battle's like a zombie marching to the scale.
I don't think he will be, though. I don't think he will be. I'm curious how he's going to look physique-wise. He's not a heavily muscular guy. So that's why I feel like at 185, the stronger wrestlers, the bigger, more built dudes, like picture like an Ian Heinisch in a Bryan Battle. That's a clear size difference as far as the muscularity, you know, as you get up to the better guys. I think Battle, if he can make that 170, he's got a good height. He's, I believe, 6'1", fairly long. I don't know about contendership or anything. Like, I'm not jumping the gun on the kid, but I think he beats it Takashi Sato at 170 for sure.
I think so too. I'm gonna even go on a limb and say he submits him, man.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that Battle's submission game is pretty damn solid. And again, especially when he's not going to be outsized, you know, when he's not against somebody who's significantly physically stronger than him, you know, kind of a passive grappler. Battle is, you know, he doesn't really dominate position super well and hang on to stuff super well. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see when he's the bigger man, if that's still the case. I'll go Battle submission, dude. I like him in this fight. And, you know, there's a lot of questions to be answered when somebody changes weight classes. More often than not, it's a little overrated. This whole, like, I'm changing weight class, it's going to go great for me. I can give you a long list of people where it did not go great for them. I think it works out in this fight. I think Battle has a good debut at the weight class sub.
Let's go Bryan Battle for the win for both of us. Now, the line for this one, Battle is sitting at minus 235. And then Takashi Sato plus 195 is a dog. Finchman likes the submission, so Battle to win by sub is plus 350. I'm on that Battle decision side, but not necessarily touching that prop. Plus 125. You'd be better off playing the submission and him cashing it. But I think Moneyline's a good attack. Parlay piece, good idea. And I think we're going to see Bryan Battle get his hand raised and get himself 1-0 at welterweight in the UFC, man.
So it's the right fight to start, right, AJ? They didn't give him a stupid fight. You know, this makes sense.
I think they got respect for Bryan Battle. They want to cater their talent a bit. He's the ultimate fighter winner. Let's give some love to these tough winners. I feel like guys win tough and then they get cut from the UFC in 2 fights. Like, we gotta build them up. Let's let Bryan Battle figure his skill set out. Let's see where we can ride this guy.
Absolutely. A lot of questions to be answered. I'm interested to see how he looks.
Let's go. Let's jump to the next one. It's your boy, Terrance McKinney, coming
Hey,
in back once again. He fights Erick Gonzalez.
my boy.
I love this fight. Terrance McKinney is a beast, man. He's got the best 3-minute burst in MMA. He's going to give you all he has at that point, and most guys are going to fold. He's going to stop a ton of people.
Yeah,
I think
man.
Gonzalez is one of the guys he stops in 3 minutes. I think it's a first-round knockout. I think you're going to see McKinney blitz Gonzalez. Gonzalez won't have the athleticism or the reflexes to keep up, and he's got the style where he wants to sit in there and fight. What's he going to do? Take McKinney down? I can't see it. How does Gonzalez win? I'm having a hard time seeing it unless he has crazy durability, McKinney gasses, and boom, next thing you know, he folds him maybe with a body shot or something a little bit later in the fight. But can Gonzalez take that beating? He was knocked out by Jim Miller. He had Jim hurt, though, in the first round, so I have to respect his game. He's not a terrible fighter. He can strike.
Gonzalez needs to take the Nate Diaz approach, just weather that storm. That storm is a-coming. Hang on to whatever you need to hang on to, rock through that storm, weather that storm, because McKinney in the second and the third round has not shown to be the same fighter. McKinney is what you would call fast twitch. He's a sprinter, not a marathon runner, you know? And what Gonzalez is going to want to do is really tap into the slow twitch muscle fibers, the set a little pace with somebody, let them shoot their shots, sort of ease into the fight, and let McKinney, waste his energy. The number one thing that makes me not want to bet on Terrance McKinney is energy management. He needs to tame that beast and be able to use his explosiveness in moments and not continue to just empty the gas tank. He's a drag car. I mean, his 0 to 60 is insane, but if you just stay on that gas pedal, the gas is going to run out, man. He needs to be a little more patient. I'm interested to see how Terrance McKinney approaches this fight, because I would like to see him actually not get him out of there in the first minute. I would like to see him actually show us his skill set a little bit more, show us his energy management skills, show us how he could pace himself better. I can't see this thing going to a decision either, AJ. I got to go Terrance McKinney with a knockout. You called him my boy because I saw him at Bellator. Me and AJ actually were hitting each other back and forth, and we were agreeing the best 3-minute fighter in the UFC, right? So, a little bit of youngness, a little bit of green. He's a little green, right? So once Terrance McKinney gets some reps like this fight under his belt, hopefully his energy management will get better. I'm interested to see how he approaches it. You got to go Terrance McKinney. If you're not betting on Terrance McKinney in this fight, be prepared, to lose your money, because it's not that Terrance McKinney is for sure going to win either. There are ways to beat him. Again, his energy management is some of the worst in the UFC, but the risk you run, the weapons this kid has, Gonzalez doesn't have those weapons.
Gonzalez doesn't have those weapons, man. McKinney by KO, but you can't even place a money line bet here. Like there's no chance. Have you seen the odds, Mike, or I'm telling you for the first time?
Minus 900?
Minus 855, minus 900, depends where you're at. But yeah, minus 855 over at MyBookie. Use promo code Moneyline, get yourself that deposit playback bonus. Do it for the people. As far as this fight, though, we'll talk about it. 855. That's a wide ass line. MyBookie has a decent line for it, though, at 855 compared to minus 1,000 at Bet Online. You got to pick McKinney all day, but you can't really do much. I mean, you go McKinney wins by KO, you are upwards of plus 140 in some spots. It's not
Dixon
terrible.
Sider says, I seen fastest KO on the card prop at plus 800 for McKinney. What do you think about that, Finch? I think those odds are bananas. Where the hell are you seeing those odds? Yeah, that would make sense. If McKinney does his normal thing, I think that makes sense.
This could be fastest. Yeah, I think KO. Fastest one. Yeah, I'm feeling him by knockout. I think he's getting first round KO. Mm-hmm. This is the dude. I like McKinney. The way he beat up Dober, too. I mean, yeah, he lost the fight, but he was doing well early, and Dober's a savage.
the only reason Dober was able to gut that out is because he's such a savage. You know, that was brutal to watch, man. Drew Dober's a nice guy. He was getting destroyed, you know. Yeah, when I met Terrance McKinney, you could tell you're talking to a pro athlete, man. The dude is built like, you know, he could definitely, you know, beat everybody as far as that fast twitch, pop, 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 his explosiveness. You know, watch Terrance McKinney hit pads. You feel like the seams are going to bust off the damn mitts, you know. So I think the kid is very capable of getting a 30-second KO.
Yeah. I think he's the guy to do it. Fastest KO on the card. Throw that bet down. We got McKinney, knockout, round 1. Let's go.
Let's
keep running up. Next one is our featured prelim of the night. Sam Alvey versus Michael Oleksiejczuk. Listen, Smiling Sam, he's a good dude. He's a nice guy. He's been sticking around for a while. But when's the last one? Come on. It's Oleksiejczuk all day. And Oleksiejczuk decides to drop to 85. Alvey's less durable at 85 than he is at 205 too. Oleksiejczuk undersized for 205, but bro, he sat in there with Dustin Jacoby and did well. And then Jacoby kills Un Jung in a shot, proving me wrong too. Oleksiejczuk's got this fight all day. I think he beats up Sam. I think he's going to touch him with the hands. I think he can get him to the ground and beat him up. I think wherever this fight is at, it's Oleksiejczuk's realm here. And Sam Alvey, he's getting, I believe, the final fight on the contract. Obviously, I don't think there's a re-signing. Going to be sad to see Smiling Sam go. He's a good dude, but I don't think he wins here. And also Oleksiejczuk, interesting note, southpaw versus southpaw with him and Alvey too. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Does that benefit Sam or does that hurt him?
Yeah, everything hurts him in this fight, AJ. The AJ signing Sam's walking papers already. Did you hear that? He signed his death certificate. Holy shit. You know, AJ, it's hard to disagree with what you just said, man, because he is on a skid of skids.
Skid of skids.
Sam, are you all right down there? We need to back up the truck and pull him out of this ditch because Sam has, you know, not won a fight in a long time.
I'll tell you when the last win was, because now you got me curious. 2018, he got a split decision over John Villante, who is now a retired fighter. He did beat Marcin Prencio in 2018 also.
Yeah, that's a while ago, though. Yeah, I definitely think that Oleksiejczuk is going to dominate this fight. And one of the reasons why is because he's no slouch with the hands, man. You know, if Smiling Sam Alvey is going to be smiling at the end of the night, he's got to put that left hook on you. He's got to put that right hand on you. I don't see him doing that to Oleksiejczuk. Oleksiejczuk, actually pretty disciplined striker, man. Keeps his chin tucked, throws nice combinations. He doesn't take stupid risks, you know. You want to see like somebody banging with their chin up in the air with Sam Alvey. That's who's getting knocked out. Not happening on Saturday, guys. Come on, it's crazy. You got to go Oleksiejczuk, and I'm sure AJ's about to tell me the odds reflect that.
Oh yeah, the odds are crazy wide here. Right now, you got Oleksiejczuk. He is sitting at -595. Alvey +420. Oleksiejczuk very likely wins the fight. I mean, Sam Alvey's 0-7-1 in his last 8. That's bad, dude. That's bad. Yeah,
that's like where I'm actually surprised he hasn't received his walking papers yet. I think it's because he's entertaining, man. If you go to an event live and you look at the prelims and you see that Sam Alvey's on it, you're like, oh, it's gonna be a good fight. You know, it's fun to watch him fight, and I think that's why he still has a job.
Does he survive this one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Where's the guy? Where's our guy, man?
Mr. D, Smiling Sam Alvey coming out hot, gonna shock the world and win his retirement fight if he does that. If he does that, I'm giving you a shout out next week, Mr. D. Let's make it happen, okay? I don't think it's happening, my brother. I don't think it's happening because Oleksiejczuk does not take stupid risks. I don't think he's going to put himself in a bad spot. I see him absolutely smoking Sam Alvey.
Smokes him, destroys him, knocks him out type shit.
Yeah, this is one of the most confidence picks on the card. Obviously, the bookies are also aware.
They're aware. I think everybody's aware. Yeah, it's all day. Oleksiejczuk by knockout. He destroys Sam Alvey, and I think he does okay at 185. Oleksiejczuk to win by KO. The line is +110. I think it's pretty likely that he does win by KO here. With respect, Smiling Sam going the full 3, but I think Oleksiejczuk's hands get it done. I see him touching an overhand on Alvey, whose chin is out there to be hit, man.
Yeah. I mean, Alvey's only shot is a big left hook or something, right? I mean,
That's it.
that, and when he puts himself in that fire, I think Oleksiejczuk's going to be the one to put it on him.
He's getting burned, bro. Burned bad.
Ah, shit. Dude, you had yourself lined up for a call out next week and you blew it. You freaking blew it. Deal's off the table, bro.
Deal's off the table. That's great, man.
When you go heel, you can't say I was just kidding. No. Let it sit. Own it, Mr. D.
On the heel, on the heel, bro. On the heel. Let's jump to the main card, though. We just did the whole slew of prelims. We got a good interview in, and now it's time to get to the big fights. Main card. The money line. We are live. This is UFC Vegas 59. Santos versus Hill. Good card. We just ran through the prelims. It's main card time, guys. Smash that like button. Show some love. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and keep it locked in here at MMA Experts. This is the money line. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, before the fights, we give you the full breakdown. We bring on interviews as well. So if you want to hear some of, takes from the latest fighters on this weekend's cards, but also you get a little insight into their lives. You get a little bit of a personal connection with these fighters with this live interview style. We don't have it sit back, record and edit it. It's live action. So keep it locked in right here. Much love to everybody. I'm here with the Finch man, who I'm going to give the stage to break this first fight down.
Let's go. Look, Lipski lives like over there. So, I see her at this gym all the time. Come see us at UFC Gym Huntington Beach. It's a tough fight, man. Cachoeira is dangerous, super tough. She'll gouge your eyes out. Just kidding.
Bro, you're not kidding, bro. You're not kidding.
It's definitely a competitive fight here. This is going to be a no bet for me. That's for sure. I saw some of you guys saying on the, Cory McKenna fight or some of the earlier fights, those were no bets. I'd much prefer to hold the money on this one, just personally. Although I think Lipski should get it done, man. I do see her continually improving her striking. She's looked good on the pads at UFC Gym, I could tell you that. And, she's got a ground game too, man. I think she's going to be able to deal with Cachoeira everywhere the fight goes. Should be fun. Cachoeira definitely brings it. It's hard to bet against Priscilla.
It's hard to bet against Priscilla because she brings the heat. She's fighting the queen of violence, Lipski, though. It's a great matchup. Both girls come to fight. I think it's going to be a good matchup on the feet. I don't think we're seeing a ton of grappling here, but for some weird reason, would you be surprised if Lipski maybe looks to mix in a takedown? I don't know. With Cachoeira's forward pressure style, maybe she tries to time something to slow that rhythm down.
That only makes sense as far as I could be wrong about this, but as far as I understand, Lipski's got phenomenal striking coaches, phenomenal jiu-jitsu coaches. I don't know who her wrestling coaches are. I would have to look into that. I don't know that I've been impressed with Lipski's wrestling. So with that being said, I think she's ready to kickbox. I think she's going to go out there and kickbox. And if she's putting time in with Master Rafael Cordero, you got to be confident going out there and kickboxing Priscilla Cachoeira. So I would expect her to strike, AJ.
Striking battle, both girls violent, entertaining fight. I'll pick Lipski on the cards. I think she gets a decision, a little bit more technical. I think she finds some punches, straight shots, especially on Cachoeira, maybe front kicks too, chops at the legs. Cachoeira is going to have moments though, as Lipski backs up where she's winging shots in close and she's dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. You always have to mind your P's and Q's with Cachoeira, man. She'll clip you. Very, like I said, tough. She'll dig deep. She'll fight hard in the last minute of the third round. Not somebody you want to risk your money against. The more I look at the picks on this card in general, AJ, the more I think that some of the best bets are going to be parlays with heavy favorites. These dogs, it's one of these big dogs are going to come through. I'm not sure that I even want to risk betting on this fight. Odds aren't too wide on this one. Yes,
I'll tell you the exact odds. Lipski minus 170 plus 140 for Priscilla Cachoeira.
Hey, I'm seeing Lipski submission a couple times in our chat. Apparently, the Moneyline fans think Lipski's going to get this thing done on the ground. I could definitely say that the jiu-jitsu team over there is phenomenal. Think about the Kings MMA jiu-jitsu team, Neal, Dariush. I mean, I don't have to run through the roster. She's on the mat with great submission artists. I guarantee you her submission game is getting stronger.
I would say, I mean, it's not a terrible prop. If you're looking for a plus 550, it's a wide line if you think it's going down. But me personally, no.
She's got to get
I
it
think
there.
more distance. I just think low likelihood. I think fight actually goes distance here. I think over 2.5 at minus 180 is a play also.
There it is. There it is. AJ, I'm with it. Not a fight I'm betting on.
Not a fight. Well, I don't want to say never. We'll see what happens as we get closer to the fight, damn.
I'm waiting for this parlay then.
Let's go, Finch, man. Let's keep running up. Next one, Augusto Sakai versus Sergey Spivak. Mike, I have taken heat for taking Sakai by some. They're saying there's no chance Spivak runs him over. I look at the matchups for Sakai recently. Jorginho Rosenstrike, striker, power striker. Last one, gets knocked out by Tai Tuivasa. Power striker. Previous to that, did well losing to Alistair Overeem. He fights Sergey Spivak, who, I don't know, now beats Greg Hardy in the first round. All of a sudden, people think that he's this absolute killer with his wrestling. Decent wrestling skill set. You look at his fight against, what's his face? Oleksiejczuk. It's not like he's beating down the old man. He's competitive in the grappling. He's a good grappler. Spivak's good on the floor. Sakai, I don't think is a terrible wrestler. He's bigger than Spivak, but he's got a striking edge. I feel like it's a fairly competitive fight, and I think there's a chance Sakai wins it on the cards here. Is it a absolute lock of the week? I'm not saying that, but I'm giving Sakai the shot, and for some reason going that way. Now, granted, could be a Mozarakov pick of the week, one of those ones. It happens to the best of them, you know what I'm saying? But I think Sakai gets it done. What do you think, Finch? Am I crazy, bro?
You're not crazy at all. Although, okay, so this is why you're not crazy. Sakai's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, man. He is a jiu-jitsu player himself, you know. So, when you got somebody who can work off their back like Sakai, I could see him making it through the storms and coming back to the striking. It's just my question then to you, AJ, is not just can he survive on the ground, can he negate those skills, but can he damage Spivak on the feet? Is Sakai the guy who's going to knock Spivak out? I got to say no. I got to think that he's not fast enough for it. I got to think that, he's the one thing he does have is a big size advantage, AJ. 20 pounds? I mean,
20 pounds. Yeah,
that's real. You know, that's real. That's tangible. In the heavyweight division, it means the least, because once you get that big, all of a sudden, you know, the smaller guys are a little faster and they're still big. I mean, you know, sometimes that actually ends up being the best weight is like a 230, 240 heavyweight because of the athleticism. You don't get too many Francis Ngannou freaks who have speed, power, and size. And Augusto Sakai is one of those where he's not freakishly fast. He's not freakishly athletic. He's well skilled. He's got real good kickboxing. He's a bruising striker, and he's got a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, like we said. Spivak evaporated Greg Hardy on the ground, okay? It's melted him, all right? But that's Greg Hardy. That is the...
Greg Hardy.
How much are we going to hate on Greg Hardy on this show? Should I stop? I'm going to stop.
Just in case we don't want to burn that bridge. He's a good guy. I like Greg. I like his hands. He's got good hands, bro.
I want him to show up to some jiu-jitsu classes at UFC Gym Huntington Beach. We'll help him out. But he's a dangerous man. He's very athletic. So when he got on top of him, he melted him. I don't see that happening against Sakai. I think they'll spend a lot more time striking, a lot more time in the clinch. This thing is probably close. This thing's probably going all 3 rounds. I'm going to go with the Spivak decision. I think that Spivak's going to be competitive enough in the striking, and with the couple takedowns he might get, I think that'll be enough for the decision. I do think Sakai's in this fight. You're not crazy for going Sakai, AJ.
All right, listen, I like to hear it, man. You're one of the few that would say, because it seems like a lot of folks think Sakai has 0 shot. He's got a little bit of a shot. Looking at the line, plus 180 for Sakai, Spivak minus 220. Let's see. You like decision? So over 2.5 rounds, actually plus 145 is a plus money line. I don't like the prop side of things at all here. I don't know if you do either, Finch, man.
No, I kind of see these guys going all 3 rounds, but we're talking about heavyweights. We're talking about a submission fighter with Spivak who can kickbox versus a guy who's going to try to knock him out in Sakai. I'm kind of staying away from this fight altogether, to be honest.
Spivak, the win for Finch, man. Sakai, the win for me. Let's keep running up. We have the Ultimate Fighter finale matchups here. The first one, the women going after it in the 125-pound division. So it's Brogan Walker. She is taking on Juliana Miller. Finch, did you like what you saw from the girls with the tough season and whatnot? Because I personally was impressed by Juliana Miller's grappling, man. I like the ground skills a lot. Brogan Walker, I like the takedown defense. In her last fight in the house, she fought, I forget, I'll be honest, I'm forgetting the name of the girl, but she had a low base stance against a wrestler and did a good job stopping takedowns. So it'd be interesting to see if she looks to bring in that style of game against Juliana Miller, who definitely wants to fight on the floor, though Miller's a 10th planet girl. She's got very slick jiu-jitsu, awkwardish style. Like, I don't want to compare it to Tony Ferguson, but 10th planet, how they have their flow. I love watching it. It's fun to see. I think Juliana Miller could potentially lock up a submission on a Brogan Walker, but something that a little bit has me hesitant to say that she wins by sub is I respect Walker's regional scene experience. And also, she went distance with Erin Blanchfield. I watched that fight. Yes, she was taken down consistently, but she didn't get finished there. I'm going to ride Juliana Miller to win and become the Ultimate Fighter. But Brogan Walker's an experienced girl. It's concerning a bit. She's got a lot of fights. What do you think, Finch?
I think if you walk into a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu school, you'll get contact high just from rolling with the people in that gym. That's where she's coming from, man. And she is a spider. Miller I like the Tony Ferguson comparison. That was fair.
Okay.
She's very lanky, uses that jiu-jitsu to armbar these girls and to get them in bad spots. I think her issue here is the wrestling. I don't see her out wrestling Walker, and Walker's a veteran, man. Walker's been there, done that. Walker's been in a lot of tough fights. I think Walker's jiu-jitsu fundamentals are good enough to hold off Miller. I do see Miller even getting her back at one point or getting the good spots, but can Miller close the show? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that Walker is going to be the stronger of the two, maybe get it going on the feet a little bit more. She's well-rounded enough to hold the spider off. So I'm going to go ahead and say Brogan Walker Sanchez decision.
Wow, Brogan Walker Sanchez wins by decision. The Finchman pick, and you're not crazy
the
for
Ultimate
it.
Fighter.
It's the Ultimate Fighter. She's the winner. I will say, for the show's sake, I think it's better if Juliana wins because she doesn't have the regional scene losses to girls that are, already in the mix of the UFC. So
Sure.
it leaves that mystique, something to be curious about, some mystery to it. Walker,
Sure.
we've seen her lose a call. She's good. Like we kind of know the level. I feel like Miller is a lot of question marks. Like she could be a Rose Namajunas,
Yeah, Miller lost to one of the girls on that season, and she didn't end up fighting her again.
Then she
Am
beat
I
her.
off with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then she beat her.
yeah, exactly. So, I could see both of these girls. Being in the UFC for a while and whatnot. I think it's fun to become the Ultimate Fighter and to put all this pressure on becoming the Ultimate Fighter. But there are plenty of UFC fighters who didn't win the Ultimate Fighter and still, had great UFC careers. Long list of them. So I think that's true with these two women. The UFC needs talent in the women's divisions, and here's two examples of that. I think Walker's going to outstrike her. AJ.
Brogan Walker for the win. Finchman's pick. The line for it is plus 105. Miller is minus 135 as the favorite. I'm on Miller. I do want to just look at the sub line for a moment just to see what it's sitting at. Miller wins by submission, plus 600. Pretty good, pretty wide slate. Finchman, you like Sanchez by decision, plus 145 for that one. Over a round and a half, minus 620. We're not playing the overs here. The over 2.5 is minus 360. There's not much to be on unless you're maybe parlaying it up.
Whoa. Who posted Walker by knockout? One of you guys. There we go. Carmi Colburn. Walker knocks her out in the second. If you think Walker's going to knock her out in the second, you might be able to make some money on that pick.
Listen to this guy right here. Smash those likes.
Smash with an E, right? Is it with an E or an A, AJ? Let us know.
Smash the like button, brother. You gotta smash them all. I don't have the beard anymore, so it's harder to play it off. It just looks like some Italian guy trying to be Hamza, brother. Smash the likes, guys. Let's run these likes up. Much appreciation to everybody joining and watching the show live. We got a lot more to talk about. Next fight of the night, we have Mohammed Usman taking on a difficult matchup with Zach Pauga. I like this fight, man. After watching Tough, I actually grew to like Usman. He's not the same as his brother. I like his vibe. Like, it's a different feel with him. I don't know. I don't want to say I am more of a fan of this Usman, but I like the story, man. He lost his kid, so there's a lot of motivation to fight and get himself the Ultimate Fighter win. I like the story. I like the potential. The problem is with Usman, he's still a bit raw to me. He's a big, strong, athletic dude, and he definitely has the power. But the last fight against Eduardo in the house, it went his way, but it was like that, super competitive. He's getting chopped up with low kicks. Pauga's good, man. He's technically skilled. The problem with him is he's not a real heavyweight. This is another case of a light heavyweight choosing not to cut weight, going on whether UFC, Ultimate Fighter, whatever, and beating bigger dudes. If he beats Mohammed Usman, it hurts the sanctity of the Ultimate Fighter heavyweight, because how many seasons has a light heavyweight won the Ultimate Fighter heavyweight? We got Rashad Evans doing it. We got freaking potentially Pauga. Have we had others? I don't know. I mean, Roy Nelson won it for real though as a heavyweight, but it's a rare case.
Well, Roy came in. It's crazy experience. It was bizarre to even have Roy Nelson on the Ultimate Fighter. He was already, winning fights in Elite XC and all the other, which wasn't a big promotion at the time. For you throwback fans out there, he was almost like over credentialed. Like Roy could have been coaching the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know. Yeah. They matched him up against Kimbo Slice. It was like, why are you giving Kimbo this death sentence? So not to go on a tangent there, but that was that was an interesting one. Roy winning the Ultimate Fighter, as Rampage said, he fought Kimbo Slice and he put the moon on him, put that belly on him. Roy could do it to people back then, man. Big power in his hands. It was a mismatch to have Roy on Tough.
And now with these two. This is like, these guys are less experienced. I think Roy Nelson could win this season potentially.
Old man Roy with the gray.
No, prime Roy.
Okay, prime Roy knocks these boys out.
I think so, and I mean, I think Pauga though gets the hand raised and becomes the Ultimate Fighter winner. I don't think we talked about this, man. The divisions. It's like the Ultimate Fighter heavyweight concerns me because I don't see an evolution of the skill sets very much compared to the older days. Like a little bit, things have changed. Obviously, the inclusion of the calf kick, maybe, I don't know, a couple of the guys like Chandler Cole looked pretty good with his athleticism, but he ends up losing. I feel like could be 2010 again.
You brought up some good points about the size difference here. Now for Zach, he was a former Houston Texan. Played on the practice squad, didn't get that field time, but trains with Curtis Blades. He's used to pushing around big guys. I mean, Curtis Blades, I don't know if you guys have met him before, is a house. You're standing next to a house of a man, So if he's moving around Curtis Blades all the time, I don't think the size and the strength of Usman is going to be like shocking to him. He trains with Curtis Blades. He sees it all the time. I know he's undefeated before somebody corrects me, but he got knocked out by John Jock and Cage Warriors. If you guys watch, Zach Pauga gets caught bad. Somehow he survived. He used my favorite mount escape, hands on the hips, shrimp to the side, get to the Ashigarami. Beautiful, beautiful mount escape he used to at least just buy him some time during that beat down there. Ends up coming back and winning the fight. The dude was literally out, and I don't know how he came back. It was one of those bizarre ones where it was a flash KO and the ref decided not to stop it. Comes back, wins the fight. Contrast that with what we've seen happen with Mohammed Usman in trouble. When have we seen Mohammed Usman get hurt? Brandon Sales and PFL, right? What did he do? He gave up his back. He was strangled unconscious. So there's two examples of these men put through adversity and two very different reactions to that adversity. Okay. One man has the better car. The other one has the better driver. I'm going to go with the better driver. I'm going to go with the 205er. I'm going to go with Pauga. I think he can potentially get him out of there. He could do it with his hands. He could do it with his submissions, but I'll go ahead and make the official pick a decision. It's going to be a fun fight, a tough fight, and definitely one where Pauga's way undersized. Usman says he's a lot better. I don't think it's impossible for him to shock us. AJ, when I first saw this dude standing in the corner of Kamaru Usman, I was like, that's his brother? Does this guy fight? Somebody get this guy a fight. What the hell are we looking at? And sure enough, here he is, and I'm picking against him, man.
Yeah, you can't pick him. I can't pick him either, man. I think Pauga wins. We going KO for Pauga?
Woo! He's only got 3 rounds to get it done.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to stick with my decision, man. It is possible. Look, it really depends on the way Usman approaches this fight. If Usman wants to come out there, be patient, maybe his brother's telling him to jab a little bit more nowadays. I'm interested to see what he means by, I've gotten so much better recently. You guys haven't seen the real me on The Ultimate Fighter. You're about to find out. I want to see what strategic difference he brings. I can't bet on that, but I'm interested to see it. It depends. If Usman wants to come out there and throw those big-ass shots, those big-ass just clubbing shots, he just takes his limbs and just starts whipping them at his opponents, AJ, then he could get knocked out.
I think Pauga could find that chin, man. Usman can be hit. We'll see. We're going to ride with Pauga, win, knockout. I'm going to look at the lines real quick. As far as Pauga, he's sitting at minus 245. Usman at plus 205. Also, just seeing it now. Donation up in the chat from Finchman's boy calling him out. Kevin Albasri drops the $19.99. Bring your cup and mouthpiece tonight, baby Grinch. Oh,
We're
shit.
sparring at UFC Gym Huntington Beach tonight.
Oh, shit.
Do you want the smoke? I will see you guys at 9 p.m. UFC Gym Huntington Beach on Beach and Warner. Yes, I will bring my mouthpiece, Kevin. Let's get it.
Let's go. Let's go. Finchman's getting called out and throwing a little cash, man. He's giving you a paycheck.
Unbelievable. The disrespect.
He's calling for it, man. He said, listen, give me that shit, brother. I gotta smash these guys. You gotta smash you, brother.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll have to tape this sparring, Kevin. Now you got people interested.
Let's go. Let's post it live. IG live. I expect one on the Finchman tonight, 9 o'clock. IG live, Finch.
All right. We'll think about IG live. All right, at Mike Finch MMA. We got to put a round or two up live tonight. I'm with it, AJ.
AJ I want to watch it. I'm gonna be tuning in. Plus 240 for the KO prop also for Pauga. Just to list that off. We're going. We're talking sparring, man.
We should mention in this fight, Usman could knock anybody out. Like Usman, when you look at him, it's a superhuman.
Yeah.
You know, so he is capable of knocking Zach Puga out. I didn't want to seem crazy confident on Zach Puga because there's a significant size difference here, man.
If Usman has improved from the tough show and he can get more precision on his punches, man. It's just I feel like he has a hard time finding that target, bro. He doesn't have that same, that same accuracy that I'd like to see from him. I'm going Puga for the win, as is the Finch, man. Let's jump to the co-main. Vicente Luque, Jeff Neal, co-main event of the evening, and expect a striking battle between these two, Finch. You agree?
I think so, man. I do think they stay on the feet. Yes, sir. I like this fight. You know, that's one you guys saw Kevin Albasri drop $20 in the chat there. That's one where me and Kevin we're discussing it back and forth, and we're on opposite sides and kind of, batting it back and forth because, Neal's a tough test for him, AJ. I'm interested to hear the AJ DeVito breakdown.
So on this one, how I'm looking at it, I think that Luque with low kicks can limit the Neal movement. I think he's more technical with the striking, though Neal's a bit more explosive maybe. I also think Luque is a bit nastier. He's better with the Muay Thai, knees, elbows inside. I think clinch work favors Luque. Jiu-jitsu favors Luque. I don't know, man. I'm not a huge Neal guy. I mean, he got that good win over Mike Perry, and then I was thinking, oh shit, is Neal really that dude? But I feel like Luque's going to get the hand raised, dude. I think he's going to look good. He's going to probably attack the legs a lot, try to keep a bit of distance. There's going to be moments where he's forced to fight with Neal, but I don't love Neal's inside offense, I guess you would say. I don't love it, man. I don't know. I feel like we're going to see Luque with the hands, man, or the hand raised, excuse me. I think the legs will actually be a big factor.
With the legs raised, exactly. He'll go upstairs with him. Look, I think I think Neal really, like, when I saw him fight Wonder Boy, and I saw Wonder Boy get to that third, that fourth, that fifth round, I saw Wonder Boy slow down. And what did Neal do? You're thinking, here's a power puncher, Geoff Neal. He's going to be able to come through and clip him. He couldn't get it done. He couldn't find the chin. And while, Wonder Boy does have better range than Vicente Luque, hands up high, keeps the chin tucked properly. I just don't see Neal having more than that old puncher's chance in this fight. I got to go Vicente Luque. I got to think he uses his legs, as AJ said, to get it done. And I got to think they're also kickboxing in this fight. If it does hit the mat, Luque's Darce chokes are nasty, man. He could wrap it up. He could get this thing over with on the mat. Even on the feet, I like him in this fight, man. I got to go with Luque. I got to think he bounces back after that Bilal Muhammad performance.
I like it. I think he does. I'm ready for Luque to get another win and get this thing running back in full gear. Luque minus 170, plus 140 for Neal. I don't know if I love the over 2.5. It's plus 110, but I definitely think it could happen. Over a round and a half is minus 165. Luque to win a decision, which is my official pick. Upwards of plus 280, actually. So it's a pretty decent slate if you're looking for a prop. But I think Moneyline Luque is a great idea. I think he's going to pick apart Jeff Neal.
There it is. There it is. I think so, man. And I think he could break him down with those hard kicks, man. He reminds me when he throws those hard kicks. Do you remember that short prime Luke Rockhold had where he was breaking people with his legs? He would whip his legs into people and break their souls. That's what Vicente Luque has the capability of doing in this fight. I want to see him use those legs as wrecking balls, throw it right through the block. You know, Boss Rutan talks about that. When you kick somebody, a lot of times people, when they go to block a kick, the person will kind of ease up like, they blocked it, so I better get back to my stance pretty quick. No, kick right through that block. If Vicente Luque is fighting that way, because let's be honest, he doesn't have a huge threat on the mat from Geoff Neal. I think that's a key to success in this fight.
Let's go. Luque for the win from Finchman and myself, and watch for Luque high kick, maybe sneaking right through. Let's jump. Let's go. Let's go. Main event, Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill.
Go.
Dude, Jamal Hill's rise has been great. I mean, outside of the Paul Craig fight, he looks incredible fighting these strikers. Thiago Santos is kind of in the contrary. He got a win over Johnny Walker, but it was a lackluster decision. When you look at Thiago Santos today, he lacks mobility. He has a very hard time closing the gap like he once did. And that is because John Jones destroyed his knees in that fight. He's never been the same. And I thought that he was super competitive with Jones. He loses a split decision. Thiago Santos at his absolute best at light heavyweight, he found his prime, and that was that John Jones fight. That was the best Thiago ever. He's not looked the same, I don't think, since. It's hard for him to close that gap. You remember when he sprinted at Jack Hermanson and stopped him back in the day? It's ugly, but you remember that knockout? Yeah. I don't think he can do that anymore. I could not imagine him doing that anymore. I don't think he has the ability to explode the same way. So now you have a gun-shy Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill, who can snipe you. I think Jamal Hill is going to find that chin and actually get the KO. He's going to be the guy to do it. Santos has taken a lot of losses in a row. We go in the full 5 here. Not impossible, but I think Hill's going to sleep him. Let's go Hill.
Yeah, it's a matter of Santos not being dangerous enough. He used to be. Right? But what evidence have we seen that he's going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with Jamal Hill and not get his block knocked off? I mean, here's the one piece of evidence. He goes to decision. You know, people have not been able to get Santos out of there. But what I'm talking about is his offense. What evidence do we have that he's going to be able to affect Jamal Hill? His offense has been lackluster at best. You know, if this was a football team, the defense is okay. You're getting close losses, but they keep scoring no points. They keep scoring only a field goal. We need more than a field goal, Santos. We need him to open up in this fight. Will he do it? You can't bet on that. One thing you can be pretty darn confident in is that Jamal Hill's coming to knock your block off, man. He is trying to put his fist through your face. It's been the Jamal Hill party all day, right? We had Jess on crediting Jamal Hill for helping her with the recent arm dislocation, coming back from that injury. He's come back from an injury maybe better than anybody I've ever seen. Ridiculous one-punch KOs back to back to back. I think it's possible he does it again, man. It's just the stylistic matchup for me. When I'm talking about a Jamal Hill loss, I'm talking about somebody taking him down, somebody roughing him up against the fence. I don't see Santos being the man for the job, AJ. I got to go with the big offense. I got to go with the gunslinging quarterback, right? I can't just go with the guy who cannot win the rounds. So I'm going to go with Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill knocks him out. It is possible this thing goes all 5. If you guys look at their history, Santos is very hard to put away. I agree with you, AJ. We're going to double down on the main event and say that Hill is the one to crack that code, that he does get the knockout.
He gets the KO, but he's a big favorite. Minus 280. Santos is plus 220 as the dog. If we look towards the betting side, I think under 3.5 could be a hit, but it's minus 250. So actually, I'm going to say pass on that. Hill by KO minus 150. You're not playing that slate. I think Hill is a potential heavy money line attack or a parlay piece, but I don't really love the prop betting side just because there's no value for it, in my opinion.
I'm reading these comments here. Well, John Jones couldn't finish Thiago, so actually he doesn't know. That's a long time ago. Do you remember the last time you saw John Jones fight? Okay, that was before AJ could grow facial hair. Okay, that was I'm messing around. That was funny.
When was that though? When was that? I'm trying to like, how long? Let's see.
A long time ago. That's my point. Is that these are not characters in video games. They're human beings. Right. They change, and I do believe we're seeing a different type of Thiago Santos here, a man who has not sharpened his sword in too long.
I didn't have a beard in 2019, actually. Yeah, so I couldn't. I didn't know if I could, but I didn't grow it out. So I grew a little chin hair. That's all I had back then. So Finch ain't wrong. Finch ain't wrong. It's been a long time since we've seen Jones win, and Thiago Santos, that was his best performance, even though a loss. That Johnny Walker fight was atrocious. It was a letdown. He didn't impress me there. Look at what Jamal Hill does to a Johnny Walker. He devastates him. Jamal Hill is a problem at this weight class. He's got good stand-up. I knew he was good from the early moments when I saw him fight. That OSP fight, you're like, yeah, this kid's got something special. He's got skills, and he's a southpaw. Yeah. That southpaw stance, quick, athletic dude with some power. I think he can make a run towards the top, man. I really think he matches up well. Yes, he takes the loss to Paul Craig, but I suggest you if they ran it back, I don't know if it goes the same way. Paul Craig got exposed against Volkan Oezdemir. You just don't engage him on the mat.
Oh man, did he get exposed, AJ? He was able to get Volkan in some hairy, exchanges on the ground. He like drags you to the ground, I mean, he still had some threats in that fight. Give him that much credit.
I guess I'll give him that much. He didn't get fully. You know what? He got exposed that simply that's his only game plan. He wants it on the floor. That's where he needs it. He's gonna pull guard. He's gonna do anything. He'll take you into his mount. He'd rather be on the mat than striking with a Volkan or a Jamal.
Exactly. Yeah, I do agree that in a rematch, I'd probably be picking Hill over Paul Craig. Hill is, put himself in a new headspace with this, with these KOs, man. You start knocking some people out, you start thinking, kind of a bad motherfucker, aren't I? And that really actually does have a tangible difference in these fights. He's coming out hot, man. Jamal Hill's never been more confident. Here he is in a headliner, and I think he's going to deliver for you guys. And I saw somebody up here. You don't even have to pull it up, but they were asking, what's a good parlay? Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Parlay's coming soon. But Jamal Hill for the win is Finch and I's pick. I think he gets the knockout. I think Jamal Hill is a problem at light heavyweight, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds for Jamal because it was impressive what he's done in the past two. Aside from a hiccup with Paul Craig snapping his arm, Jamal's looked incredible. And even that loss to Craig showed me one thing. This kid ain't tapping. He's got a will to fucking win. He got his arm destroyed.
That looked super broke, that arm was bending in a way Jesus did not meant for it to bend. That thing was, that looked like one of the worst arm breaks ever. Turns out it wasn't broken. Huh? I don't understand. That was the most dislocated arm I've seen in the UFC.
Ever.
That was ugly.
Ever.
But he's recovered. I mean, look at this comeback. That's why I'm saying it's so damn impressive that he goes from that to not that long later being on top of the, rising up the division and getting knockouts over legit opponents. It's been impressive.
Impressive. Jamal Hill's an impressive guy. Guys, we got more. The Moneyline lock of the night section coming up. Moneyline lock of the night section. Me and the Finch man are here to give you our locks for this card. Finch, I will let you take the floor.
Thank you, sir. Look, it's always tough when somebody drops a weight class. You have to be careful and really watch. Like AJ said, AJ wanted to see him on the scales. It's it's one where you should ask a lot of questions, because when somebody drops a weight class, we're talking not only about new talent pool, but new performance, right? You're changing the vehicle. Let's see how it goes on the test run. I think the test run is going to go super smooth for Bryan Battle. I'm picking him by submission. You guys can money line it if you want to. I think Bryan Battle is going to look good in this fight. It's hard for me to pick a lock on this card because I've got maybe 4 or 5 locks, but the odds aren't too sexy for them. So my opinion, I just want to tell you guys watching is, think about considering a parlay on this card. If you do, maybe a 2 or 3 fight parlay with some people who you're very confident in, I think this is the card to do that. You're making me pick one lock. Obviously, I'd love to pick, Terrance McKinney, but the whole world knows what's going to happen. So I'll go ahead and go with Bryan Battle submission.
Bryan Battle submission, Finchman's lock. Because value is a big thing here, I do have to go Vicente Luque lock. I think he's going to beat Jeff Neal, getting his hand raised, looking good, winning a decision. There is going to be some opportunities, Mike, for you to talk in our next section, the parlay section, about that. So let's jump right into the $100 parlay.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
$100 parlays. And if you guys are looking to play them, go to my bookie, put in promo code Moneyline, get yourself 50% playback bonus. It helps us out. It keeps my bookie sponsoring us and continuing to help us progress the quality of the product with the financial backing of a sponsor. So show us some love. Go to my bookie, use code Moneyline, drop a few dineros in there. You can do the lowest amount possible. It helps us out. It helps you out. We got the show killing it. Big things on the way. $100 parlay time, Mike. I'm going to take the floor first. For me, my $100 parlay that I have been feeling all week. If you told me I need $100 guarantee, there's no way it's going to fail me. Well, of course, you can't say there's no way it's going to fail you in the fight game, but I think it goes Jamal Hill, and I think it goes Vicente Luque at just plus 105. But seeing your confidence in Battle, my confidence in Battle, because of the scale worry concern, let's wait till tomorrow before we book it and lock it. I'm going Bryan Battle on the slate as well. You boosted my confidence in Battle, seeing that you're with it. Plus 175, Jamal Hill, Vicente Luque, Bryan Battle, 3 fighters that I am extremely confident come through winning their bouts and look good doing it. And also lines that are fairly playable. You're not playing the minus 1,000 Terrance McKinney or the minus 600 Michael Oleksiejczuk. Of course, you could add them to the slate, go nuts with it, but the value just isn't good.
Agreed. And that's why, when we're talking about these parlays, you guys got to put the parlays in and think about risk reward, because it is a risk when you start going 4 or 5 fights. We had on a bookie from my bookie, and he told us, hey, only do 2 fight parlays. Don't go past 3 fight parlays. And I think that's sound advice, actually. With that being said, I do think Terrance McKinney blasts through. I do think Michael Oleksiejczuk blasts through. And I agree with AJ. Vicente Luque and Jamal Hill are pretty solid. So if I'm going to do a parlay, I'm going to give you guys Vicente Luque and Jamal Hill. I do like it, but also sprinkle in, consider, and look at what the odds are. I think Terrance McKinney is a 95 to 99% lock. Pretty damn sure he's going to win that fight. I would say Michael Oleksiejczuk is no less than 80%, 90% lock. That's pretty damn likely that they're going to win. Sprinkle them in there and consider it. But, I gave you guys Bryan Battle, and I think Jamal Hill and Vicente Luque got it done as well. So some agreement there from AJ and I on the parlays.
The parlays, man. We know what we're doing.
We're looking at the same fights, bro. Go. We did you guys right last week. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Always think for yourself. Take my opinion, put it with everything else. Do your research, make your own decision, and that's where you're going to win money. And that way, if you're right, you get to be proud of yourself. How about that?
Hey, we love it, Finch. We love it. Now, Finch, one thing before we sign off, McGregor tweeted out something. He said, what did he say? I'll always love him. Now I got to pull it up, the exact tweet, man. Where's it at?
You saw McGregor with the cash on his ear, huh? You saw McGregor calling in for the parlay here.
McGregor's the guy. I said, shit, I got to bring it up.
No, you're all good. Yes, I saw that he had
MMA. I'll never forget you. Easy
one
work.
Of them. Go ahead.
MMA, I'll never forget you. Easy work. That's what he posts. So everybody's like, oh, he's retiring. It's over. But then he also posts 3 hours ago, I'll be back for the sake of humankind. I must return. Then he's saying happy birthday to Schwarzenegger. So I guess he's not retiring, which I didn't think he was. He's meaning I'll love MMA forever because he's doing a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. Conor McGregor.
Good.
He needs to stick with movies. He's a celebrity now. He don't need to step in the cage anymore. Like this, what's the point? What's the point?
I mean, it doesn't have to. Yeah, as far as money is concerned, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He's set for life. Did he sell Proper 12?
Yeah, but he's still the face of it.
Okay, so if he sold Proper 12, then I mean, that's that's a lot of capital, and I think he's going to be doing just fine. Billy Barnes is in the chat trying to make me do my Conor McGregor impression. I don't give a fuck about that mixed martial arts game. Yeah, I want to come back and be a movie star. Yeah, I think that Conor McGregor is going to. It's not great. It's okay. It's not great.
Pretty good.
Look, I think it's smart for him to do this because Conor actually. It might be one of the only MMA fighters I could see being a good actor. It's a short list, man. And without saying names, I've seen some people fail at it already. With Conor, remember that long form commercial he did? He was like riding a horse and shit. I forgot what the commercial was even for, but he did good. He's kind of good at it.
Yeah.
Hey, Conor, go for the acting stuff. Go for it. You deserve it, man. You deserve it. You took the sport to a new spot. If if being a movie star is interesting to you, go get it, brother. All the best to Mr. McGregor. Yes, AJ, to answer your question, when I first read that, I was like, did he retire again? Because remember, he retired before.
Yeah.
And I was like, did he retire again? Sure enough, he hasn't, and he's coming back. All the best to McGregor. It's going to be a while until he comes back. We saw it was his first time at SBG like 2 weeks ago. So, he's not ready to come back this year, and might as well be in a Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Might as well. I think that's the move. Guys, also follow the Moneyline bet page on IG for Instagram activity from the show, clips, tidbits, updates. Check it out. Obviously, follow Finchman as well. Mike Finch MMA, the Mike Finch Show.
Live sparring tonight, I guess.
Live sparring on Finch's channel. If I can, maybe I'll find a way that I can also put it on my Instagram live so you guys can fucking watch it on either or. I don't know how we can do it, man. Maybe I'll commentate it or something like that. We'll see what's going on.
That. We're
Finch.
hyping this shit up now. It's going down. What is it going to be? 9 p.m. PST, like 9:15 or
so
something.
Midnight for me. I'll see if I'm up. You send me a text, bro. Let's go. Finchman going to war tonight. Guys, give us all follows. Also, check me out, MMA Experts on IG, the _ also between the words, as expected with Instagram. Much love to everybody watching. Smash those likes. Let's run these likes up. We appreciate the continued support, and watching the show grow has been fantastic. We got big plans with the money line. We're going to keep on killing it each and every week, so don't miss an episode. I think we're going to get a UFC World Champ on soon. So stay tuned for that.
It's on AJ's bucket list, so it's got to go down. It's got to go down. There we go. And Dixon Snyder, pay-per-view Finch TV. It is free to the public. Huh? Free? Yes, free to the public. Tune in. Much love, guys. Always appreciate doing the show. AJ, you're the man. AJ, are you calling the fights again this weekend?
Of course, every weekend, brother. Unless something's really big going on that I have to do, that I have to take it off. I'm doing it.
Bigger than this. What could be bigger than this? Good shit.
Maybe like a wedding.
I'll be listening, AJ. Looking forward to it.
Let's go. Check it out. Finch, man. We'll see you next week. We got a week away, brother.
Of course. Well, I'm gonna be Bellator is next week. I will be in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Where? Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I don't know. Apparently they got some population out there in South Dakota. I didn't know that. I didn't know there were people in South Dakota. But we're going to go to South Dakota, and we're going to have fun, man. It's a good card. Neiman Gracie is – I'm not going to hype the whole Bellator card, but Neiman Gracie versus Yamauchi and Valentin Moldavsky, Russia, Fedor team, former heavyweight champion, is taking on Tall Steve Mowry. Tall Steve Mowry is a problem, AJ. Those will be fun fights. I hope you do a breakdown of that and check out Steve Mowry's fights. If you haven't seen him fight yet, dude, good heavyweight matchup. Don't sleep on that fight.
I was sleeping on Steve, but he beat Salma. I said, all right, he's got some skills. I know
got some skills, and this is a big step up in competition, dude. Moldavsky's, the best that Bellator heavyweights get. Ryan Bader, Moldavsky are right there at the top. It's going to be interesting to see how Tall Steve matches up, man. I'll tell you what, they got me running around all day. I'm going to be cage side for that fight. You'll see me on the fence. Super excited for that card. And, of course, we'll do money line from my hotel. I'll see you guys then.
See you next week, Finch, man. Much love, everybody. Smash those likes. Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to turn those post notifications on. Shout out to everybody watching live, but also we love the replay gang also. Thank you all so much for the continued support. And we will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody.